If you're confused about whether this bootcamp is right for you, this video is gonna save you the time. I would rather lose a sale than enrolling the wrong learner. Now, that sounds like a marketing, but it's purely operational for us. A wrong fit learner does not just underperform their own outcome, they drag the cohort experience for everyone else that is around them. The strongest cohorts that I have run are the ones where the unfit learners are pre-screened themselves out even before enrolling. Now, this video is the pre-screen, 6 minutes of qualification. Then I'm going to give a direct call to action at the end. If you finish the video and you know that the answer is no, then that's a win for both of us. Now, this cohort 5 is going to start on May 31st. Now, here I want to talk about three traits as who exactly that this program is for. One, the engineers with coding foundation. It's not about I can read Python. It's not about I've done few notebook. Now, when I say foundation, you can structure a small program, run it, debug it when it fails, and you should be able to read someone else's code without panicking. Now, that is the floor. If you're below the floor, the cohort will not be productive for you. It's not because the curriculum is impossible, but because every section and every session will compound on a foundation that you may not have built yet. Number two, comfortable with Python basics. Now, this means functions, classes, even when it is required, virtual environment, package management, reading the library documentation. The reason over here is we do not slow down to teach the Python. We use Python as a substrate. If a Python is not yet your working language, I want you to get yourself to working comfort before the cohort starts. Three, serious about production AI. It's not interested in AI, it's serious, meaning you have decided that your next role or your next promotion requires you to ship artifacts that you currently cannot ship. And you're willing to spend next 12 weeks producing those artifacts under structured pressure. So the seriousness is not enthusiasm because the enthusiasm will fades by week 4, but seriousness is what you do on week 4 when the work gets hard and when your cohort is mid-flight. If those three describe you, then the bootcamp will become productive experience for you. If one of them is shaky, the cohort will surface that shakiness inside the first 2 weeks itself. And that is being done by design. Now, who should avoid this bootcamp? Now, I'm going to name 4 wrong fit profile because the cost of getting this wrong is very high. And this is high for the learner and for the cohort as well. Like complete beginners, engineers who are still on their first programming course or who have not yet built anything outside of a guided tutorial. The bootcamp is not a starter course. The pre-reads alone assume that you are able to work with the programming in an effective manner and you are able to read it. That's our assumption. A beginner can absolutely become the production ready, but they need a different on ramp before this given cohort. Two, shortcut seekers. The engineers who is looking for a credential or a certificate or a name on a resume that's gonna do the lifting for them, the cohort does not provide that. The artifacts that you generate, that's the thing that will do the lifting. If your artifact is hollow, then your credential is hollow. Next is passive learners. The engineers who measure progress by hours of video consumed. The cohort moves through the artifact, not the attendance. Now we can identify the passive pattern by week number 2 itself, and the program does not work for that pattern. And the last one is the trend chasers. So engineers who join because AI is the conversation and they want to be in that room. See, the room has value if you bring the work into it. If you have no project that you are trying to build, the cohort will become the wrong vehicle. A targeted course is cheaper and equally useful for sampling. So, if you recognize yourself in any one of these four, I'm going to tell you directly this cohort is not the right call for you yet. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. This is the same thing that you would get when you reach out to the support team. So I'm helping you so that you don't need to call anyone or reach out to the support team. Now, one common question over here is I'm a working professional. What if you are busy with work? See, this is the most common honest question from the prospects. I'm a full time employed. I have family obligation and I'm not free for 10 hours a week. Now, does this work? Now, my honest answer is yes, with condition. You're going to have recordings. Every live session is recorded and indexed. If you miss a session, you do not lose the given week. The recording will carry the same content as the live minus the live Q&A. And most working professionals attend the live for one session in a week and they catch the other one on the recording. Now, that's a viable rhythm that I've seen most professionals doing it. And the another key advantage that you have is the repeat access. The cohort artifacts, the recordings will stay accessible even after your cohort ends. Now, if you fall behind in week 6 because your work got intensified, you can carry forward and complete the missed modules on your own schedule. This structure does not punish you for being a working adult. And next one is the flexibility. See, the work is asynchronous between the session. That means it's asynchronous. You can do it at a recommended cadence, but there is no daily deadline for you. The cadence is 2 to 3 working hours, and that's something that you need to spend around in the 4 to 5 working days. Now, that is sustainable for a working professional, and it's not sustainable for someone who wants to spread it thinner. So, if you have less than 8 hours a week, then the cohort might not be a right fit. It's not because the program is rigid, but because the artifacts will not compound at the lower volume. Every session is going to have 3 hours, and each week we're going to be covering the lessons for 6 hours. So I would recommend at least to keep aside of 10 hours where you are able to go through the recording or attend the session during the weekend and be able to spend 3 to 4 hours in the weekdays to practice what you have learned. And most learners in our cohort are working full time. So the structure is built for that given constraint. It's not built for 0 hours constraint. Now, what if you feel underprepared? So someone who is underprepared but committed to take this journey. Like this is the second honest question that is harder to ask out loud. Like I have foundation, but I do not feel ready yet. Should I wait? Now, there are two things in this response. One, orientation. So every cohort opens with the orientation week that levels the prerequisite floor. The orientation is not a primer on Python. It is the calibration on what this cohort will require and how to set up your environment, your repository, your evaluation harness. And you'll also get the access to our foundational courses so that even if you are a beginner, you can cover those foundation before the cohort starts. Now, the learners who do this orientation work seriously and they enter this week 1 ready to build. The learners who skip the orientation are visibly behind by week number 2, given if they are very new to Python. And the second key thing is the progressive learning. The curriculum is sequenced so that each module will build on the previous one. You do not need to know the enterprise RAG in week 1, You need to know enough about what is programming, and you need to have a curiosity in week one. We will have a structured introduction. We'll have a structured path that will take you from foundation to the building the production grade agent. So the depth comes from the sequence, not from the prerequisite. Now, in most cases, when you feel underprepared, it's accurate. The cohort is actually here to convert that feeling into a capability. So if you wait until you feel ready, in most cases, that's the slowest path. The fast path is to start with the structure. Now, that said, if your foundations are genuinely below the floor that I described earlier, no orientation week will close the gap in 5 days. So in that case, the right move is to spend the next cohort cycle on the Python foundation and join the cohort after. Now, what is it that you would be building overall in your learning journey? This is a high level, I'll say the recap about what is it that you would be building. See, these are the 6 categories of production shaped system that you would be building. Enterprise RAG with hybrid retrieval, re-ranking, access control, citation validation, agent orchestration with planning, tool selection, retries, hard timeouts, deployment pipeline with rollback path, control layers with validation, guardrails, refusal pattern, evaluation systems with golden data set, regression suite, online judges, drift detection, and architecture pattern library, that is when to use agent and when not to use agent, when to add memory and when to keep it stateless. So these are the key things that you would be learning. And you'll also have the 4 practice track. We call it as the challenger path, where it's about the articulation, defense, trade-off, and debugging. Now, if any of that sounds vague, so you can check out our website, go through the curriculum, and you'll get a better idea about what exactly that we are talking about. Now, one more thing that I want to answer right here, that is why this cohort model matters. Like, can I learn this on my own with a curriculum? And if I have 1 year, why should I join this live cohort? See, in principle, yes, but in practice, very few people can do. Here's why the cohort model matters operationally. First and foremost, accountability. The cohort has a start date, there is a sequence, there is a shared schedule. The artifact that you owe is visible to the peers. The artifact that you skipped is also visible. And that visibility, not as a judgment, but as a structural pressure. And that's what most self directed learners discover that they are actually missing. The data is consistent. Learners with the same prerequisite who self direct complete, they actually complete 1/5 of the program. The same learners in the cohort will complete it. And deadline. The reason an artifact compiles is that someone said that show me this by Thursday, or I'll be asking in the session that I want you to share the deployment link by next week. Now, these deadlines will convert the intent into shipped work. The self directed learning has no deadline, there's only intention. And intentions are not enough at the volume that this curriculum requires. And third is a peer learning. This is the highest leverage moments. See, the highest leverage moments in my session are not because I teach something, it's because of the side conversation between the learners who are debugging the same problem from different direction. Now we curate that surface. We do not want to over engineer it. The cohort is the substrate for those moments. And lastly, execution. The cohort is built to produce the shipped artifact. It's not finished modules. The difference matters over here. Like when I have a finished module, that's a checkbox, but a shipped artifact is something that you can defend in a senior interview or in a production review. If accountability, deadlines, peers, and execution are not what you are missing, then the cohort is the expensive answer to the problem that you may not have. But if they are what you're missing, the cohort is the most economical answer that's available for you. So the cohort 5 starts on May 31st. The schedule is published on the program page. We'll have 2 live working sessions per week, self-paced work between the session, and approximately you need to spend approximately we'll be having 8 weeks of live session and 4 weeks of your self work, that is the that is the capstone implementation. So that's something that you need to work on. So if you have finished this video, you fit the right fit profile. Let's say you find that you fit the right fit profile. You have the bandwidth that I've described. The link is in the description. Read the program page in full. The page is intentionally kept long. So if the page filters you out, that is the right call for both of us. And if you are right fit but uncertain about a specific question, maybe your foundation level, your bandwidth, your goal, go ahead and reach out on the support number that's mentioned over there. And we'll be able to tell you honestly whether to enroll, defer, or take a separate path. So in the last week, we have actually told 5 customers to skip this bootcamp. So if you're confident that this is the right one and the page that you see over here reads true to you, enroll. There's no flash sale. There's no extended deadline. The cohort starts because May 31st is the May 31st. All right, guys. So that is our qualification video. So the right fit profile, wrong fit profile, the working professional logistics, the underprepared question, the cohort model rationale, and I've also given you the CTA. So if after all of that, you're still not sure, the answer is please skip it. If the right fit signal is clear, when it is clear, you will join. All right, guys. So if this signal is clear and points to yes, I'm going to see you next time. So system ship, demos don't. I'll see you on the next one or in our live cohort. I'll see you next time.